Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Matthew Hugo at UKWF, here with the Farming Forum weather forecast. And just starting with a quick look at latest satellite imagery, just to highlight a few features of interest which are relevant to the forecast in the coming few days. And at the moment in time, a large area of high pressure centred across the UK and generally northwestern areas of Europe is the dominant feature of weather. Regions of cloud are rotating around this area of high pressure to bring quite cloudy conditions, as latest satellite images show, for example, across parts of central and eastern areas of England. But equally, there are some cloud breaks as well, allowing for some bright or sunny spells. And this area of high pressure dominant across the UK will continue to remain over the UK and also continue to maintain dry and settled conditions throughout the next few days. However, just drawing your attention to this region of cloud here to the west and the southwest of the UK, this is an area of low pressure, and cloud is spiralling around this area of low pressure with a weather front to the west and southwest of Ireland. Now, at the moment in time, our area of high pressure is keeping these weather systems at bay, but as we progress towards the end of the week, and then more particularly into the weekend of the 12th and the 13th, our high pressure will continue to decline to the east and northeast of the UK, up into Scandinavia, and then these weather fronts here will finally progress into the UK to lead to a change in the weather as more unsettled conditions develop. So let's quickly take a look at some forecast weather charts now, just to highlight the weather within this short term over the next 24 to 36 hours to start with. And here we are around about mid-afternoon on Tuesday the 8th, and here is our area of high pressure dominating the weather across the UK to clearly bring fine and settled conditions with little or no precipitation evident on the forecast weather chart. Now, continuing to progress through the sequence into this evening and on into the overnight period, and many of the areas then start Wednesday the 9th, still dry but with high pressure beginning to decline to the east and northeast. Overall, though, there is little in the way of any significant weather expected for Wednesday. Again, high pressure, albeit declining to the east and northeast, will still maintain dry weather across many areas with variable amounts of cloud, but equally there will be some further bright or sunny spells, and again many areas will be dry. Continuing through late Wednesday and on into the overnight period and through into Thursday, and the high pressure then begins to decline further to the east and northeast. That these weather systems here, a weather front may well then approach the far west of Ireland into Thursday, but generally overall the high pressure is still doing its job by keeping these weather systems at bay from most areas. So here we are now on Thursday the 10th at around about 9 p.m. Again, note some outbreaks of rain and showers just begin to move into the far west of Ireland and perhaps the Western Isles of Scotland, but generally, again, the area of high pressure centred here to the east and northeast of the UK keeps these weather fronts at bay, and many areas are still dry throughout the majority of Thursday with some bright or sunny spells as well. Now, just taking a look a little bit further ahead towards the end of the week and into the weekend, and this is the area of high pressure. Now, I've just zoomed out, taking a wider look at the UK and also across Europe, as you can see on the forecast weather chart. So our area of high pressure continues to decline away to the east and northeast of the UK, and it's if I continue to progress through the forecast weather charts through to the end of the week, and then more particularly into the forthcoming weekend, you can see the high pressure continues to drift away to the east and northeast of the UK as far as parts of Russia by the time we get to Saturday the 12th, and this is then replaced by lower pressure, this feature here approaching from the west and southwest. So summarising the medium term as we end the week, and then more particularly as we move into the weekend of the 12th and the 13th, low pressure will become the dominant feature, and this will bring quite an abrupt change to far more unsettled conditions this coming weekend, with outbreaks of rain and showers gradually moving north and east across the UK. We'll now take a look at some forecast temperatures through the remainder of the week, and temperatures on Wednesday the 9th, around about mid-afternoon, are likely to range between around about 14 and 18 degrees across the UK. This is near average for the time of year. Clearly in any sunny spells it will feel pleasantly warm as well. By the time we're getting to Thursday the 10th, and more of a south or southeasterly wind will develop, and as a result somewhat warmer conditions will develop off the near continent. As you can see, in comparison to Wednesday, by the time we get to around about the middle of the afternoon on Thursday, where the highest temperatures will be, as you can see, many areas of England and Wales, particularly inland areas, are seeing temperatures up to around about 18, 19, 20, or perhaps even 21 degrees. And similarly, temperatures will rise to the high teens or low 20s across parts of Scotland and Ireland as well. And finally, we end the week on Friday the 11th with, again, still quite warm conditions, particularly across England and Wales. Temperatures on Friday afternoon still widely reaching 19 or 20 degrees. And again, in any sunshine, that will feel pleasantly warm. Note, temperatures are somewhat cooler further west across Ireland, generally in the mid to high teens, and this is in association with the approaching more unsettled conditions. And generally, then as we progress into the weekend of the 12th and the 13th, temperatures will fall across the UK by 2 or 3 degrees, so somewhat cooler weather then developing this coming weekend. And finally, I'll just take a quick look at the expected wind speeds and the wind directions through the remainder of the week. And as you can imagine, with high pressure dominating the weather, winds are indeed generally light. Overall, through the remainder of the week, Wednesday onwards, winds are generally coming from the south or southeast across the UK. And as you can see here, on Wednesday afternoon, around about middle of the afternoon, winds are particularly light across the UK, generally ranging between around about 5 and 15 miles an hour at most. And generally continuing through the remainder of the week, you can see that wind speeds remain light even into Thursday, but then begin to increase somewhat as we progress towards the end of the week, as more of an east or southeasterly wind begins to develop, so that by the time we get to Friday, winds may well be up to around about 15 to 20 miles an hour from the southeast. And at the moment in time, as we progress into the weekend, winds are likely to become somewhat stronger as well, as more unsettled conditions develop from the southwest. But at the moment in time, as I say, within the short term, over the next 24 to 48 hours or so, winds will be particularly light, though increasing to around about 15 to 20 miles an hour to end the week, with directions generally from the south or southeast. So thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your day.